Well, good morning. So glad to see all of you here. My name is Jason McConnell. I'm one of the pastors here. I welcome you to our 11 o'clock worship hour. Whether you are here in-house or joining in with us online, you are welcome in this space of grace. You know, sometimes we have a long week. Sometimes we have a hard morning. Sometimes we have fantastic experiences that we just want to celebrate as much as we can. We want to give God thanks. Sometimes we come in those doors and we sit down because we're numb. And that's an okay feeling. Every single one of those things is okay. Whatever you're experiencing, know that you are welcome here. You don't have to have life put together because, believe it or not, there's not a single person who walked through that door who feels like they do. And so instead, allow for some moment this morning for just a space to be able to breathe. Let all the stuff that you've been carrying be set down for a second. And let God's love wash over you and remind you that you are deeply and powerfully loved, more than you could possibly imagine. The mirror tries to tell us otherwise sometimes. The world around us tries to speak a different message. But here today, hear the truth. Know that you are exactly where you need to be. And we're glad that you are. So settle in today. Let grace wash over you. If you can, check in with us. If you haven't already at the check-in stations, you can use the QR codes in the back of the chairs, or you can go directly to prosperumc.org. I also want to be able to share a couple things with you just from the life of the church, things that are going on. Our youth program does something during the summer called Dessert and Devotionals. And what happens, instead of the usual Sunday evening event, we kind of shift that over and say, every Wednesday, we're going to go to a different house. Different host location, and there's going to be some kind of sweet, some kind of dessert, and for sure a devotional, and then a whole lot of just activity of games or just hanging out and visiting. And it's a great way for people to not feel like they've missed out if they have to miss a week because of vacation or camps or anything. They can just come any particular Wednesday. But here's the thing. So we need host locations. And this is what's really cool. Even if you don't have a youth, you can be a host location. It's a great way to actually get to know some of these young people in our congregation, to be able to just offer them some kind of sweet, whether it's this big fancy cake or a couple of popsicles. Guess what? The youth don't care. They come and they just enjoy it. And then a space where Jen and the youth can come and do these devotionals and do some games. And so think about this. Think about it as a way to connect with your church and offer up a host location. I think it could be a lot of fun. It could be in a living room. It could be in a backyard. There's lots of ways to do that. So you can go to prosperumc.org/DND, or you can check in with Jen Brown, who is our Family Ministries Director. Second thing to share with you is that the church is doing a new thing. We visited with Neighbors Nourishing Neighbors, and we said, hey, what are some of the items that you find are really difficult to be able to have on hand every week so that no matter what, you can offer the families that are needing food these items? And they came back and they mentioned that it's often that they're low on canned tuna, often that they're low on canned beans. And so what we're going to do is we're essentially going to adopt a shelf. This is a missional thing, not for a season, but from here forward, to the point where as a member, as a part of Prosper UMC, when you go to Kroger and you're going to pass by the canned tuna, you're going to hear Prosper UMC. It's going to be this thing. You just go and you grab one. Or when you go buy the beans, it's going to call Prosper UMC. Unless they're green. Don't get green beans. All the other kinds of beans are great. For whatever reason, they don't need green beans, so any of the other kind. But we have two stations at the ends of the commons. And there's bright blue bins that you can just come by and you can set these items whenever you come by. And then when that gets filled up, folks from N3 will come by and pick it up. But you know what? How awesome is it that we as a church can make sure that they have what they need to be able to fill up the pantries of folks who are needing this food? So thank you for participating in this. I think it's going to be really exciting. And I know that N3 is already very appreciative. For those online, today is Communion Sunday, and so we want to make sure to remind you to be able to grab something to eat, something to drink, so that you can participate with us when we get to Holy Communion later in the service. And then the last thing I want to share with you is that for 10 days, there was this thing called General Conference that went on. And if you're unfamiliar with that, that's okay. General Conference is the sort of official voting body of the denomination of the United Methodist Church. They get together every quadrennium, every 4 years. And when they tried to get together in 2020, something happened. Oh yeah, pandemic. And so this is finally getting a chance to be able to meet, and they got through that. There was a lot of celebrations, a lot of things that were going on, wonderful reports. And there's a 10-minute video that I didn't want to try to show you this morning, but I think is a great way to be able to get just kind of a lay of the land of what has happened, what all went down, what was a part of the celebration. And so I invite you to go to our website. That's a picture, just a still shot of it, prosperumc.org. And when you scroll down on the website just a little ways, you'll find this link right here to be able to celebrate with us and what it is to be a United Methodist. And it's a good day. I'm proud to be a United Methodist. And I hope that you can find yourself caught up on it. If you have any questions or want to know more about some of the things that went on, I hope that you'll visit with me or with Pastor Kelly, and we'd love to sit down and be able to talk to you about that. But for now, just wanted to make sure that you were aware that there's a great way to catch up just right there on our website. So those are our announcements this morning. Once again, I want to say welcome. And if you can, let's get our hearts and our minds ready, our souls ready, as Eric leads us into this wonderful worship service together.